one of my managers was sick at 9 o'clock at night. I had to go in and close the restaurant. You know, after being home at 8:30, you know, they called me in, hey, put on a shirt, put on jeans, you know, I had to go in. You know, as an owner, you got to wear multiple hats.
There's a charity event there on Monday.
At Fiddler's?
Yeah,
every fun day.
If you want to go, JT.
Right after this little, like, short heat wave, right after that, the weather's just...
Oh, yeah, I played at 7:30 a.m.
Oh,
yeah, it was perfect yesterday. We were done by 10 right before the heat.
Come on, Joe, you got to get out there, dude.
I know, dude.
I could only imagine watching Joey swing up there.
Nah, good. All right, let's get into it.
Oh, man.
Before we spit more good shit.
Let's do it.
Benny, what episode is this?
44.
Episode 44 of the Real Talk Podcast. It's your host, Joey.
And Thomas.
And if you like what you're hearing, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Woo! We got a good one on today.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Just crack it right into it.
Today, we have Kevin Trimarchi, Restaurateur of Tri-State Restaurant Group, 22 West, Epic Cookies, Slinging Dogs, and Oink and Moo Barbecue and Burgers. Everybody welcome Kevin Trimarchi. What's going on, Kev?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Long overdue.
Long overdue, I know.
Dude, so for the people that don't know what you do, can you kind of explain like what Tri-State Restaurant Group is and everything like that?
Yeah, so Tri-State Restaurant Group started, you know, I opened 22 West about 7 years ago now. I started the restaurant group right after I opened the second restaurant, Oink and Moo Barbecue. We turned that into Oink and Moo Barbecue and Burgers now, where we serve fresh barbecue food, burgers, and then it kind of just started expanding from there. Now we have a network we have a cookie place, bakery, our Epic Cookies to specialty cookies. We have 25 to 30 flavors all the time. We do custom cakes, custom cookies, cupcakes, ice cream, gelato, you name it, you want it, we can do it. So we just kind of started a group of all different concepts, something that fits in and people like, and something that's different, not around town.
Yeah.
I always try to open up a new concept that no one else is doing, something refreshing, something fresh.
100%. Why was it important to put it all under like one umbrella?
It's just so everybody knew that we were all part of one group. So everybody knew when they came to 22S and they came to Epic that it was the same ownership, same group, same quality of food as well.
Yeah.
One big thing about 22 West is, we have grown over the past 7 years, and our food quality and our product that we put out every single day is always the best. So we kind of built off of that and wanted to make sure everybody knew that, Epic Cookies and Oink and Moo and Slinging Dogs was always part of that great food quality, great service that 22S and Tri-State produces.
How did you get into like the whole food space?
Oh, man.
Bringing back
memories, huh? Walk memory lane. So graduated high school, actually worked in 2 kitchens during high school. I was a cook at the Sheraton Hotel, and then I opened the Friendlies when it opened way back when on 22.
Damn.
No longer there now. I think now it's like Orange Theory or something like that. But kind of fell in love with the whole cooking and putting out great food and seeing people eat your good food and really kind of review your good food. When college acceptances were coming around, I put in an application for Johnson & Wales into the restaurant management and culinary program, got accepted, went up to Providence, Rhode Island, was there for 4 years, did a restaurant management degree, did a 2-year culinary associate's degree. The culinary program was very fun, taught you a lot. Definitely learned a lot more being in the industry now.
Yeah.
Graduated Johnson & Wales, worked in a couple kitchens up there, worked in David Buster's, was probably my most entertaining job for sure. I think it was like a $14 or $16 million Dave & Buster's. I mean, we were cranking. So I really learned how to work a grill fast, efficiently, made good burgers then. Then worked in a country club, which was very interesting. I did have one of the members come into the kitchen one time. I was the sous chef actually at that country club up in Rhode Island, and had a member come in and tell me that his wife wanted shrimp with soba noodles. No problem. And this was a high up guy member, membership forever. And, country clubs, like members always kind of come first. It's whatever the members want. So this guy comes in and hands me $100 bill and says, I need you to go to ShopRite and get soba noodles for my wife for shrimp. no problem, sir. You know, you got to be very respectful. They pay your bills. You know, they pretty much run your stuff.
Yeah.
So I said, no problem. I got in my car. I went to ShopRite. I got soba noodles. Made this woman a amazing shrimp teriyaki with soba noodles. She loved it. Next day, went to the GM's office, handed him my keys, and said he's the reason that I quit. And I walked out. Got in my car, drove back to New Jersey. Lived with my parents for a few months. Got my feet back together. Got a great job with Sage Dining Services right out of college. Actually worked for my alma mater, Rutgers Prep. They opened a brand new cafeteria facility with Sage Dining Services. Kind of got back into the swing of things after that little hard episode.
Yeah.
Lasted there about 3-4 months. It kind of wasn't really my ideal position. It was more we were working off recipes. I wasn't able to be kind of sort of creative. I saw a lot of wasted product that like we couldn't use because of, you know, just the contract that they have there. So I started looking for a new job. Came across the Imperia right on Easton Avenue as the executive chef job, sous chef job at the time. Applied for it. Went in there for an interview with the chef there. Me and the chef hit it off pretty good. He hired me on the spot. And then, I started working at the Imperia. Was there for 4 years. Went from sous chef to executive chef. And then there came a time where I was like, I'm done working for someone else. I think I'm ready to open up my first restaurant.
What was that switch?
Just 4 years of making pretty much the same salary, missing out on bonuses slightly because of out of my control. Salespeople were undercutting some of the pricing, not able to hit my food costs and my payroll costs like expected. You know, when I'm shooting for something and they're undercutting.
Yeah.
You know, you're selling a party for 25, but they sell it for 15. Hard to get a food cost at $4 a person for a buffet. I mean, it's nearly impossible. So I kind of put some thought into it, and then started reaching out to some realtors, getting some feelers out there. Actually, before I landed at the old quote unquote the office, I was actually in contract with a place in Bernardsville, and it wasn't going to be 22S. It wasn't going to be a burger place. It wasn't going to be a gastropub. It was actually going to be a fine dining Italian restaurant. Yeah.
And then what was the switch? I was like, all right, I'm going to switch it all over to a gastropub on 22 West. Was it the location? Was it?
So the contract fell out of contract. The owner had cold feet, didn't want to sell anymore, wanted to open up a different concept, which he did. I forgot what the place is called now. But fell out of contract with that. And then as you kind of look at places and you start feeling out the communities and feeling out locations and what can be kind of best for the community and the location, the office kind of fell into my lap. And, Tim Delaney of Delaney Restaurant Groups, called me and said, hey, I got a perfect place for you. I was like, it's right on the highway. It's in your neck of the woods. I knew you grew up in Bridgewater. And I said to him, I was like, all right, well, what is it, like Old Hands, or is it Green Old Grill? I would love to take that place over. What are you talking about? He's like, The Office. I was like, the Office. I was like, I grew up at the Office. Like, you lived in Bridgewater and you weren't at the Office and you didn't have their mozzarella sticks. I mean, something else is up. So I looked at the Office, and the numbers were great. The building was selling for great value at the time. Got some funding together, and sure enough, just July 19th, 2020, 2016.
Yeah, it was early.
2016 is when we bought the place, and I haven't looked back.
100%. We actually filmed the grand opening of 22S back.
Really?
Yeah. Kev was one of our first clients.
Damn, what was that feeling like? Like once the doors open?
It still hasn't really hit me.
Yeah.
It still hasn't hit me. When I first opened 22, I was the executive chef. I did have a partner at the time who was like more of the GM, front of the house guy. So, I was in the kitchen. I was on the line with the guys. I was working. I was prepping. So it really just felt like another job when you kind of first opened up. Track forward, 7 years now. I've taken a step back in the restaurant. I have a great GM now. I got two great managers. I got a good workflow. We have I have a phenomenal executive chef who, shout out to Mike England.
Shout out Mike England one time.
Mike England, bro. Me and him graduated Johnson Wales together. He took over actually my position at the country club when I left. When I was buying 22, I reached out to him and said, hey, I'm buying a restaurant. He's from New Jersey. I was like, what are the chances you want to come down and be my sous chef? He gave it some thought for like a month or two, and then, he decided like, let's do it. Now he's my executive chef. He's got the full reins of the kitchen. The guy is creating the menus now, obviously with my intake, but he's doing a great job. Our food quality has, I think, gotten better over the years. Our burgers are the best in town. I stand by that. We got great wings. We got great product, great service. So yeah, it's starting to really kind of come together.
So coming from like a chef background, where did you learn the business skill set in running a restaurant?
Fun story about that. So as a chef, and I did do the schooling of the restaurant management. They gave you a few details on food costs and labor costs and like costing stuff, but me and my old partner broke up about 6 to 8 months into us opening. And I knew nothing about the bar business, nothing about liquor cost, nothing about what alcohol was with what. I was a chef. I knew pork, I knew brisket, I knew burgers, I know how to saute onions, give me a fish to break down, I got you. You want a half a cow to break down, no problem. But the bar business I was lost. I was lost. And I actually went to a seminar with John Taffer in Atlantic City. It was a 2-day conference. The second day was a meet and greet. There were 10 of us with him, and I probably had 120 questions to ask him. No joke, 120 questions. My notebook, I had 6 pages more than anything else. And he sat down and he answered every single one of them. And at that point, I went from 4 or 5% profits to 12% profits. My bar was profitable. I had great drinks, great cocktails. I had great beer list. I shouted out. He helped me. I read his book a few times over. So yeah, it's it was a learning curve. And then like every year it adapts. Like this year's different than last year, and last year's different than the year before. I mean, ever since, that thing happened over those 3 years that we don't talk about anymore, all of our costs are up, meat's up crazy.
Yeah.
There's nothing steady. I mean, PSE&G jumped up 3%. I mean, it's the restaurant industry got kind of hit really hard. We have to adapt. Unfortunately our pricing is going up, minimum wage is going up. So it's been a struggle, over the past couple of years. We finally are making headway again. We're back to like our 2019 routine. Before, COVID happened, I opened up another 2,000 square feet of my restaurant. We expanded our parking lot, 30 spaces, 50 spaces. So I don't even know what that feels like to have more added space yet, or more added parking lot yet, because of everything that's kind of going on. So, yeah.
Well, when did you know you needed to scale the expansion?
So, 2020, I had a deli in Somerville that I bought. I bought the old Tommy's Deli in Somerville. I turned it into Main Street Gourmet Deli. COVID hit right as COVID hit, the deli business kind of was just in a decline. I mean, no one was in offices, no one was doing catering. I was approached by a buddy, Josh, who owned the Oink barbecue name at the time. And he's like, I know you have a deli in town. He's like, what do you think about switching it to a barbecue concept? And I was like, listen, who doesn't love barbecue? First off, Somerville doesn't have any barbecue in town.
At all.
So it's just one of those things that it just kind of worked out at the same time. And then October 1st, 2021, I think it was, Oink barbecue and burgers kind of started up. And then I was like, this is kind of cool owning like 2 places here, like 2 places are making money. I was like, let's see what a third kind of place brings in. And I was like, what does Somerville not have? And right now there's a craze about cookies. It is the biggest #1 craze. It's over everything. So I was like, let's create a cookie concept, let's figure out like who's doing what. Who's the big guys right now? It's Crumble Cookies and it's Insomnia. What do they do best? Crumble does a good rotation cookie. Insomnia always has your cookies nice and warm. Let's marry these two together. So when we started Epic Cookies, we were doing the rotation of the cookies similar to what Crumble did.
Yeah.
And then we were keeping them warm like Insomnia does. It was great. And then people were like, hey, we want this flavor all the time. We want this flavor all the time. We want this flavor all the time. So we're like, all right, well, instead of rotating these 4 cookies, because like 1 week would be bangers. You got Oreo, you got M&M, you got Funfetti, you got Snickerdoodle, like all these favorite, 4 favorites. Bang, business is great. Everybody's coming in. The next week you got like, lemon tart, you got blueberry crumble, you got a little bit more of like those old school flavors. Then like people are like, they're good, but like I'm gonna wait for like that another banger week, So then what we decided was to just put all of the bangers on the menu, and then all of a sudden it went like this. Took off like a rocket.
Yeah.
So now we rotate seasonally. So like right now we got coming out, we got blueberry crumble, apple pie, cranberry white chocolate. So we're gonna have some seasonal stuff. We have our, we always will have our Thanksgiving pies coming up for Thanksgiving season. So now we're more on keeping 25 to 30 cookie flavors, cupcakes, brownies, our cookie cakes, our gelatos, always available now.
With so many different like restaurants and things like that, how do you manage everything all at once?
So I have a team. I have a bookkeeper. I have a COO. I have a director. We all, have a meeting once a week. We kind of go over a game plan every week. Our biggest task always is labor, is finding employees to work, finding, reliable employees to show up on time. So that's been our big hurdle. But yeah, so I have, I got a good network of people working for me to kind of keep it all flowing.
When did you know you needed to hire that executive team? At what point in your career?
As soon as I hit about 75 employees, I started thinking like I needed someone else to kind of help me guide all of the stuff. And again, being one person, having 4 different concepts, having 4 different specials, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was draining. I have 2 kids now, 2 young kids now. So it gives me the opportunity to see them, hang out with them, be more, alive into their, their childhood, which is the most growth that they can have. So it helped with that. My 2 guys, Evan and Mike, are great.
Tell Evan and Mike one time.
There it is. So yeah, so I got great managers, phenomenal pastry chef, Catherine Del Franco. She does a wonderful job at Epic Cookies. I rarely have to pay attention to her. She does a great job with the food cost and the flavors is all her now. She's creating the recipes for us. So it's about building relationships, building big teams, having trust. Is huge. Trust is huge.
Can you touch on like how important the experience, like getting the actual experience? Because like you went to school, and I know you took some things from that, and a lot of people will say like, oh, I went to school, but I got nothing from it. How much like do you credit like school to the information that you had compared to just like being out there and doing it?
So school gives you the basics.
Yeah.
School gave me how to hold a saute pan, how to use a knife, how to braise something.
Yeah.
But nothing is like being in the real world, adapting. I mean, as a young entrepreneur, to go through COVID, at 31 years old, when planning. My 7,000 square foot restaurant had to close for months without knowing an end sight. I mean, what I learned over those 2 years of really being shut down is a world of experience.
Yeah.
Is a world of experience. And I mean, learning from a guy like John Taffer, or learning from, when I first opened, I had a manager / she turned into my bookkeeper, this woman, Lisa. I credit so much to her. She was my confidant. I treat her like a mentor. I still, she left me in August, after 6 years, and I still text her, hey, I need help with this. And she's the first person to answer.
Yeah.
Having a mentor, having someone that has been in the industry for way longer than you've even been alive, helps you out so much. I mean, I didn't know how to do payroll. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know how to cost certain things, or, I mean, when I first started 22 West, my beers were Bud Light, Miller Lite, Goose Island, all these generics. Now, I think I have Miller Lite, Michelob Ultra, Yinglinger on draft, and everything else is a craft beer now. Like, there's just so much that you just learn that you just don't know, as a young kid. You know, so just being in the industry and just like, you know, having Lisa around and showing me how to do proper service and like, you know, have the fork the proper way, make sure the napkin's not crimply and you know, ruined. You know, the mason jars, you know, like I spend a lot of money on my mason jars. All my mason jars are logo 22S, like show the logo, you know, have the logo facing the customer. You know, making sure all the tables are wiped down clean every morning. You know, the seats are pushed in, like certain little things that you don't ever, like no one's teaching you in school to keep the seats pushed in, you know, or to you know, keep the fork in the proper place with the glassware. I mean, every place is different. I mean, when they teach you in culinary school, they teach you fine dining. Like that's what they teach you, you know, and guess what? Like I don't have spoons on my table. I don't have knives on my table. You know, we don't have linens to fold or pressed or any of that kind of stuff. So like they really teach you, especially at Johnson & Wales, they really teach you fine dining where like 22S is business casual. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not wearing suits and ties with ties. Like we're wearing, you know, nice button down shirts, blue jeans, black shoes. Like we have a comfortable environment, a family environment is what I really want to get out, bring it to it.
What are some tips on like managing all these relationships and managing employees?
Oh, the hardest. It's the different personalities. I mean, you just gotta, you know, you gotta bite your tongue. You know, you're not going to agree with a lot of things people say to you. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody thinks they're the owner. Everybody thinks their opinion is right. But what you got to do is what best is for you. What you got to do is the best for you and your interest. You know, I mean, you know, some people might not like it the way that you're doing things, but guess what? It's working. And it's been working for a while. You know, people always say to me, oh, like you should put this or you should do this. And I'm like, well, why should I like change your burger? Like I get vendors all the time like, hey, you know, like, oh, check out our burger patty. I'm like, dude, like what if Charles comes in, you know, and he hasn't been here for 2 years, but he knows it's the best burger in the world. He comes in and now all of a sudden it's a different burger. Like, you can't just change certain things like that. Like, yeah, I can change Tito's to Sky Vodka. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're a Tito's drinker, you're going to say, I want Tito's Club. But if you're going to say vodka soda, like you don't care what it is, you know, but like, so there's certain things that like, you just need to know that like, do you and don't listen to anyone else. And like opinions are opinions for a reason.
100%.
How did you first get the word out of 22West? And like, how did you first initially start marketing it?
Street fairs, all the taste of Bridgewater, taste of Somerset, Facebook advertisements. I signed up for the Patriots advertising. I had a billboard in the back, which is still there. Shout out to the Patriots. I'm huge with the Patriots. I have Oink and Moo has got his concession stand there. 22 has got a billboard there. We are now the cookies there for Epic Cookies. We sell all their cookies there. So yeah, just marketing. I spent a lot of money on advertising and marketing, gift card giveaways, you name it, we did it.
So you have other locations outside of like Central Jersey, but do you think it's a benefit to you that you guys are so hyper localized?
I think yes, because of the different concepts. You know, if I had a 22 West and then I had a 22 West on 22 West a couple miles down, I don't think it would be as entertaining, you know, where it's like, yeah, like I own a couple different concepts, you know, like I own 3 businesses right within walking distance in Somerville, you know, none of them step on each other's toes. You know, Oink and Moo is barbecue. You got hot dogs or hot dogs, and you got cookies and cookies. You know, you got cookies in a bakery. I mean, nothing really kind of steps on each other's toes. So it kind of all works.
And you guys are always at like the fairs and things like that. Why is it important to be part of like a community when you have so many different restaurants? You
know, just to show that we're, you know, like no matter how successful you are, you care. You know, like you're willing to give back to the community. You know, we did the Somerville night out. You know, it was, you know, we gave out 1,000 free hot dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like free, like, you know, like the cops didn't pay for anything. Like we gave it, you know, like it's something good to just be able to give back to the community. You know, so yeah.
100%.
I feel like that comes back around too. Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, oh, they gave us free hot dogs. They're banging. Let's go get one.
Especially gift cards. Like, I love giving out $25 gift cards.
Yeah.
First off, gift cards, you know, like everybody knows, like gift cards don't cost me $25. It costs me a food, you know, a percentage of that.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I'm in Costco. Like we do Costco gift cards. I've been in Costco for 3 years. I've probably given them over 12,000 gift cards. I maybe have gotten 300 back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I love giving, you know, like, but people love it. Like, hey, here's a gift card. Oh my God, I'm definitely going there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If I got a $25 gift card, I'm probably gonna spend $125.
Exactly, 100%. Because you're like, oh, $25 is free. Well, like let's get another round of beer.
Yeah.
Perfect. Guess what? That beer costs me X amount of dollars. Like, you know, help yourself.
100%.
And then if, you know, it makes you feel good. Like, hey, this guy cares. You know, he gave me a gift card. I'm definitely gonna tell my friends. oh wait, you had a great experience. Guess what? You're going to come back again. And like, in the industry, we always say if they come back a third time, you got them.
Yeah.
So like we do like, you come back, you come in for your first time, here's $5 off your next visit. You come back and then here's a free dessert when you're here.
Yeah.
Now they come back a third time, you got them.
Yeah, exactly.
They're regulars.
What was the first time when you realized like to start pushing out some sort of content, or like you wanted, like you start figuring out like how you wanted to like market the business and push content out to the people?
I guess when I realized magazines don't work.
Yeah.
Like everybody likes to come in, Clipper and all those, magazines come in and they're like, oh, do an advertising, but like nothing works like, reels and great movies and stuff that really can see everything about you're doing, like like when we do a reel at 22S, when we're doing the whole restaurant, you're seeing the entrance of the building, you're seeing food come out of the kitchen, you're seeing food prepared in the kitchen, you're seeing cocktails made, you're seeing cocktails being taken to the tables, you're seeing the guests' reactions to our trash can nachos coming out or our martinis being poured, certain things like that. It's really, it's good, to like showcase all that stuff because it's tough. Like, like right now I'm working on a new business that digitalizes table tents, in the industry, you go to a restaurant and in the middle of the table is this, this flap that has, like whatever, for 22S, it will say like Tuesday's dollar wing night, Wednesday's this, but nothing is ever in real time. You know what I'm saying? So like, we're going to push out the like dollar wing night 30 minutes before dollar wing night comes in, boom, you got wings right at your feet. So, right now it's all about getting people in the door, keeping them in the door, showing them what you're doing in the future to have them come back. Yeah. Is really what it's all about.
100%. And then how do you manage to do all the content within the umbrella of Tri-State Restaurant Group?
So I have a social media advisor. So Basha,
shout out Basha one time.
Yeah, Basha. So yeah, she helps me out. She does all my Facebooks, my Instagram. She, comments back on reviews. It is a full-time job. I mean, people repost us at 10 o'clock. You got to be up and you got to be ready to repost that. You got to be up on your hashtags and, and your algorithms. You got to hit the right algorithm at the right time to get that, like, that viral, which we haven't gotten viral yet. So please follow.
Yeah, exactly. Follow all of them.
I mean, selfish everyone.
Give Kev a follow.
That's it.
And then how do you stay consistent? Just Basha just kind of pushes everything out?
Yeah. So, me and her have like a schedule now of how many posts we do a week, how many stories we do. It varies, like last night was football. So like we did a couple more posts about football. Sunday we got football. We got DJs now on Sundays. So it's just, every week it changes. So like we meet every Monday. We kind of go over the week. We do email blast, text blast. We do social media stories, reels, posts, Facebook posts, advertising. I mean, you name it. There's so much out there now.
How's like the evolution of that like relationship been? Like at first, was it as like structured, or did you guys have to like go?
One thing about Basha is, so me and Basha met before I even opened 22.
Yeah.
So she was a server at the Imperial when I was the executive chef. She started as a server. She was a bartender at 22. She was a server at 22. She was a manager at 22. So she knows me probably better than I know me. She knows our concepts better than I know my concepts.
Yeah.
So she is, she can do a lot without even getting approval from me, knowing what is next. So it's good. We've probably been with each other for 10 plus years now.
Oh, wow.
So she knows, my life. I know her life. She knows every ins and outs of the restaurant. She could step in as a manager at any restaurant. She could step in as a cashier. She's my assistant. She's my confidant. I wouldn't be where I am without her right now.
100%.
For sure.
Do you think that with your experience of like being in all these kitchens that your employees respect you more because you've been through the trenches?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My one thing about 22ist is they know that at any given time I will jump in the back of the line with the guys and help them out.
Yeah.
They know if they need a vacation, I'm the first person to cover vacations. We have 2 food trucks. I am always on the food trucks helping out.
Yeah.
I am, I am wherever they need me to be. My staff knows that I am on call 24/7. I got, one of my managers was sick at 9 o'clock at night. I had to go in and close the restaurant. After being home at 8:30, they call me in, hey, put on a shirt, put on jeans, I had to go in.
Yeah.
You know, as an owner, you got to wear multiple hats.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to always be ready to go. You got to always adapt. You always got to put out fires.
Yeah.
I mean, every day there's fires. I mean, yesterday, you know, on Thursday, there was a worldwide shutdown on Square. Like they had a worldwide crash across the world. Crashed. 150,000 people were at their point of sale system. Square runs all of my restaurants. So trying to run a restaurant when the kitchen tickets weren't printing to the kitchen, we couldn't run credit cards. We had to do cash transactions. We have an ATM. The ATM ran out of money. It's just like, you know, this happened at 3:00 when you were about to go into busy, you know, 6 o'clock dinner. You know, like I had to run to Walmart to get the flippers to write all the orders down. We had to figure out how to get the kitchen to run efficiently without the KDS screens working. So you always got to put out fires. You know, like yesterday was a crazy fire to put out, you know.
And with managing so many different people, businesses and things like that, how do you balance that with like a family life, a home life, and just being sane? And so essentially,
you know, it's tough. It's really tough. You know, I got a strong wife. You know, Corinne is
shout out Corinne one time.
She's definitely, you know, very strong. She helps me out a lot when I have to work late or something comes up, some kind of call out. You know, like this weekend coming up, I have a big event on Sunday. I'll be gone all day on Sunday. And Sundays are like my day off. Like everybody knows Sunday is my day. Don't call me. Don't text me. Like, please, like, figure it out. You know, like whatever you got to do. Any other day, I'm around 24/7.
Yeah.
But I really try to take off Sundays. So she, you know, she's awesome. You know, so Saturdays I'm with the kids, you know, and then I go to work at night. Fridays I'm working all day. I come home for a few hours, spend time with the kids, go back to work. You know, during the week, you know, Mondays, I keep all of my businesses closed on Mondays to kind of give me that one admin day to get things done. I pick up the kids from school on Mondays. So it's a good balance. I got a good balance.
Is it hard to flip off the switch off work? Because I know when I come home from a long day and I might want to settle in, it's still kind of on my mind.
Yeah, imagine trying to work all day and then come home to a 3.5-year-old and a 1.5-year-old who haven't seen daddy all day, who want to jump on daddy, play with outside, run around the backyard, jump up and down when you've had a really hard, stressful day, and then you got to go back at work at 6 o'clock after that. It's tiring. It's tough. I'm lucky to be young. You know, I think, you know, being 36 definitely gives it its advantages. I don't have to sleep a lot. I can work a lot. I'm always on my feet. I'm always going. So
keeping it moving.
Yeah.
Are there any other plans for expansion, either within 22 West, Tri-State Restaurant Group, or anything like that?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. It's a secret. More content coming.
More content. Stay tuned.
We do have some plans for not this year, but next year. We did get our trademark for Epic Cookies.
Let's go.
So you will be seeing a lot more action in Epic Cookies over the next couple years. So stay tuned for some good stuff. We are switching some stuff up with Epic over the next year or two. So yeah, we have a lot of fun things. We do have a new bar coming in the next couple years. So yeah, so some things are in the pipeline. We did settle down with our little crazy expansion over the past couple of years. Nothing in 2023, nothing in 2024, but 2025 we do have some things in the pipeline. So
let's go.
What would be your advice to someone who's like getting into the restaurant business and it's like taking a lot of trial and error for them? Like, you know, they open up one spot, doesn't work out the next spot. Like, what would be your advice to
never give up on your goals?
Yeah.
You know, try hard, put your feet down, wear multiple hats. You're going to have to do multiple jobs. I mean, when I first opened 22, it was 120 hours a week, open to close every single day, 7 days a week. I mean, I was bleeding 22S at that time. You know, I think I did a year and a half where I worked 7 days a week. I mean, you're building a business, so you need to be there at every part to build the business. I was at every street fair. I was at every event. I was handing out my business cards. I was always rocking my, you know, like still to this day, I'm rocking 22S t-shirts. You know, like you see me at Costco, you see me at Target. You know, if someone's wearing a 22S t-shirt, it's probably me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always, you know, you always got to, you know, market yourself, rep yourself, you know, and believe in yourself, believe in your product. You know, like getting bad reviews is not necessarily a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? It just, you know, it puts you into your spot and you move on and you get there. You know, like when I first opened 22 and I was getting 1-star reviews because like they didn't like my food, but you know, like I serve 1,500 to 2,000 people a week. Like I'm not gonna please everybody. You know, on a Saturday night, we're doing 650, 700 burgers.
Yeah.
If one burger becomes a little bit more overcooked than the other, that's less than 1% of our burgers. I'm sorry that it happened to be your burger that you got, but just know that like we're not robots. Like we're humans back there. Humans make errors. You know, like you know, don't be first person to like go onto you know Google and bash us because you know like you know it's like realize that like you know like we're all humans. Humans make errors. We will always fix the problem.
Yeah, of course. And I like know how important like Google reviews are nowadays. And like I understand like a lot of people like that's like their decision maker whether or not they're even gonna go to one's business. But like sometimes when I'm reading the reviews, I'm like. Those bad ones, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's just the person.
You know? They're having a bad day or something.
Some of them are just so...
Because you see other ones like, oh, dude, this place is the best. And then one person's like, there was no fucking pickles on my burger. And it's like, all right.
Yeah. Oh, they didn't have any toilet paper in the bathroom. What did you say to anyone? You know, like we didn't have any toilet paper in the bathroom. We would have probably put some in there.
Exactly.
You know, like you didn't have to wipe your butt with like, you know, hand. Like, come on, dude. You know?
So with going to like all these like street fairs, like networking events, what's your key to like networking to grow your business?
You know, find good people, you know, like I said before, gift cards, coupons.
Yeah.
And coupons are huge. You know, giving $5 off something is never going to make or break your bank, but it gives people that edge to be like, hey, let's go here tonight. We're going to get $5 off. And like, let's try this place, you know?
I mean, like more so like growing like your relationships between like suppliers and like meeting the right people to help grow your business.
So yeah, meeting suppliers was definitely the most, you know, you got to build relationships. You know, like when I always dealt with relationships. Like you walk into my restaurant, you better have a good attitude. You better be friendly. You know, you better be cool, hip. Like I don't want no monotone people like, oh, you know, I'm selling you French fries today. You know? I mean, you know, be cool. Like know what we got, you know, so, and you know, like I had a guy come in and like, they didn't even know, like he'd never even been in a restaurant before. He didn't know our menu. He was trying to sell me like steak that we didn't even have on the menu. Like why are you wasting my time? You know, and now we have our people, you know what I'm saying? And like in central New Jersey, there's only so many people we can work with. You know, Fedway does all our liquor. We can't choose another company that sells Tito's besides Fedway. So we don't have a choice but to use Fedway. Beer, you know, there's two big beer vendors. We don't have a choice but to use them. But then there's food. Food is where it you know, you can pick and choose. And now it really comes down to who has the best price. You know, so like when we first we had two main food vendors. We were using U.S. Foods, we had Plainfield Produce, and we had Performance Food Group. Now we have 7 food vendors because every week pricing is changing. You know, and like we need to nickel and dime as much as nickel and dime because of, you know, percentages is going down. It's hard.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like it's probably easier to spread it across the board and get the best price for everything.
Exactly. You know, like one week, you know, U.S. Foods might have great pricing on herbs, but the following week their herbs went up because they lost a crop. You know, and then this week they different farms, different areas. You know, so now it's like I got really good relationships with people.
Is it hard to manage different relationships when your suppliers offer the same thing? Do they get upset or like?
Oh yeah, it's a dog eat dog world. That's why you have executive chefs that pretty much beat the crap out of them. You know what I'm saying? And like we all know, like as you grow in the industry, you start learning how they do their markups. So like we know that like the same companies are carrying the same product. They're paying the same price for that product at wholesale. So this company's marking it up 8%. This company's marking it up 12%. So what we would do is go to like the U.S. Foods and be like, hey, can you do any better on these sweet tots? And they'll be like, all right, let me check. And then they're like, yeah, okay, yeah. So like you always have to watch food vendors because they're, you know, they're not regulated. Like where the liquor is regulated by the ABC. Tito's is Tito's. Tito's is $24 a bottle, whether you buy it wholesaling from Fedway or you go to the liquor store. Same price. I pay the same exact price that you guys pay in the liquor stores. You know, but legally we can upcharge you.
Yeah, because you're the restaurant.
Exactly.
100%. Damn, that's crazy. I think this might be a good time to hop into rapid fire. So we do a segment on our show where we spitfire some rapid fire questions at you. All right. Favorite meal at 22 West?
Bridge Crew Burger.
Ooh, favorite cookie at Epic?
Chocolate chip.
If you could be a master of one thing overnight, what would it be?
Magic.
If animals could talk, what would be the sassiest?
Giraffes.
Putting or pitching?
Pitching.
If you had to open up another restaurant in any other location, where would it be?
Southern California.
I was going to say Vegas.
Favorite vacation spot?
With the boys, Vegas. With the wife, Caribbean.
Favorite form of cuisine?
Italian.
What's one thing everyone gets wrong about cooking?
Temperatures.
How do you like your steak?
Medium rare.
Who's your most underrated employee?
As underrated employee, huh?
That deserves some shine right now.
I hate when you ask this question.
I don't know.
You don't know.
That's a good answer. Joe's always trying to get out people and make others feel bad.
Yeah.
Nice, give him a
I have
little
a lot
shine.
of good employees. So
Yeah.
It's tough to really put one into.
Can you ever see like a tri-state restaurant group podcast?
I would love to.
I think that'd be sick.
What's one piece of advice you'd give your younger self?
Don't give up. Keep trying.
Piece of advice you'd give your older self.
You made it.
If you could leave us off to a quote to this camera.
Stay positive and smoke the weed.
Kevin Trimarchi, everybody.
Let's go golfing.